welcome to allhiphop.com. How you doing today, first and foremost?
I'm awesome. I feel amazing. Ready to answer these questions. Let's go.
All right, well, let's get to it. Well, first and foremost, I was just super impressed with your performance. I noticed you were working with Kay, and I had to reach out immediately. So I'm very fortunate that the stars align, pun intended, and I'm very grateful to be able to chat with you. So let's dive in. Now, I heard that you found a way to get ahead of the competition by getting your start in this business at a very, very early age. What drew you to acting and wanting to be in the spotlight?
Well, I mean, I didn't even really choose it at first. I mean, it was kind of thrust upon me. My grandma submitted a picture of me to an agency, but the first audition I ever went on, I ended up booking it. And so just being on set and feeling the vibes, even at 5, I just realized that this is what I really like to do.
All right, very nice, very nice. Now, in terms of 50 Cent, he's, basically has a very similar story to the whole BMF family that you're pretty much acting and portraying. He made a transition from the streets to music, film, and way beyond that. I feel that that's a real big part of why his shows are really successful and very authentic. How was it auditioning for 50 Cent and his team? And what was his feedback on your performance? I know that's a lot of pressure.
Actually, it's interesting you asked that. I didn't actually audition for 50 and his team. My audition process was rather different. I had I believe 2 auditions, and they were both videoed and sent over, and then I ended up getting a call about it. But there was one day on set when 50 was there and his team was there, and we were we were doing a scene, in season 1, and he ended up giving my mom a compliment about me and my acting, and I was really honored about that. So it's been fun seeing him around and having him on set.
Nice. Now, for anyone that hasn't seen the show, can you describe your character and the circumstances they're in right now?
Yes, so for anyone who hasn't seen the show, Nicole is the little sister of Meech and Terry Flenory, and she's kind of at least this season, she's kind of coming into her own, trying to figure out who she is apart from her brothers, who her parents kind of focused on a lot. But also her parents are now shifting their focus to her because she's kind of their last hope a little bit. With her brothers being who they are and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a ride for Nicole kind of introspectively. She's figuring out who she is and trying to make a way for herself.
Got it. Got it. Yeah. And that last episode, or I should say the first episode of the season, it was like the slap heard around the world.
I know. That's what everyone's been saying. I said that's hilarious.
I was like, woo, I tell you, she was just like, how, just real quick, how was even just kind of filming that scene? Because that's got to be emotional in order to do that. And it's coming, right?
Yeah, it's funny because there's so many things that go into like a slap, like a physical thing like that. I definitely knew it was coming. And actually the first take we did, it was very off. The slap was very off because Miss Nicole didn't want to hit me for real. I said, Miss Nicole, like put your back into it, give it. Because everyone wants to be accommodating and nice. It was fun shooting that scene. It was a lot of laughs that day.
I was just like, whoa, boy, I tell you, she leaned into that one. BMF is a very powerful story, as you know, and it invokes a lot of emotions for people who are pretty much watching it. How much did you know about these legendary brothers prior to you auditioning for the show? Because you're actually a little bit younger.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know anything about BMF, when I first got the audition, but I knew that I had never really gotten many auditions for real people before. And so I was excited to go and research about them, and I started figuring, realizing things. I was like, they knew them and they created them, and dang, like they had a hand in everything in terms of hip hop and, I mean, it is very, very expansive, and the research I did was really, really telling. It was an awesome process to go through.
Absolutely. I'm sure your life is quite the opposite in terms of the circumstances that you play on the show with the character. How did you prepare for this role, and what's your preparation process overall? Like, how did you tap into Nicole?
It was a lot of research. It was a lot of looking up who the family was and then taking that information and what I know about, BMF and what I know about Terry and Meech now, and saying, now how would their little sister feel about this, and how would their little sister or their parents, like, how would what they're doing affect the family, and then what does that do to a 12-year-old girl? It was a lot of kind of applying the information that I had found to the emotional impact that would have had on a 12-year-old, and now in the season 2 being a 14-year-old, and having to unpack that in the 80s. It was an interesting process to go through, for sure.
Especially from an era that you hadn't lived in before.
Right. I had to do some research on the 80s too now. I definitely had to do some research on the 80s for sure.
Definitely very different. Okay, well, since we are talking in terms of on the all hip hop platform, we got to talk about hip hop. So everyone has a soundtrack that is hip hop influenced, something that sonically narrates whatever vibes that they're currently in at that moment. What are some of your favorite hip hop artists right now? Who's kind of getting all those streams from you right now?
I will always say Tyler, the Creator. I love his music so much.
Hey.
Yes, you like Tyler?
Oh, Flower Boy is my thing. I play Flower Boy on repeat all the time. One of my favorite
albums. Yes, sir. Calm When You Get Lost. The album is so good. I'll say him all day, every day. Nicki Minaj, I love. She's very, very talented, obviously. Megan Thee Stallion is very, very talented as well. I like her for a good hype, a hype playlist, you know what I'm saying? And then Toby Nwigwe, he's amazing too. Him and Fat. When they rap together, I love them.
Oh my goodness. Well, you have a great ear. You came with Tyler. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting you to just come out there with Tyler like that. That was good. Very surprising. Very good. I love Tyler. I'm a huge Tyler, the Creator fan, so that's awesome. All right. Well, tell me about some of the projects that you're currently working on right now, or some of the things you've got coming out down the road.
Yeah, so Rolling Into Christmas is still streaming. It came out around the holidays on BET Plus. And then I was also featured in a movie called Secret Headquarters, which is streaming on Paramount Plus. Other than that, I'm focused on writing my own content, my own scripts and things like that, and getting things done here at school at Howard.
I hear you. Yeah, I did hear that you were kind of multitasking there in terms of pursuing your dreams as well as continuing to keep your education at the forefront. I know that that's got to be challenging. How are you balancing that?
Where's my planner? It's right there in my book bag. I keep that planner on me at all times. And I'm also learning how to say no to things. My friends want to hang out, or, if I'm choosing between, should I go eat right now or should I eat later? Different little decisions like that to kind of maximize my time is really important.
Good stuff. Okay. Now that you've had a chance to kind of work with the BMF team and tell their story, and obviously we'll find out everything as the season progresses, how do you feel now about their impact on the industry now that you've had a chance to play them and being around their energy?
I mean, like I said before, their impact it has been huge. Founding an entertainment business and it being a record label, and then creating and discovering people like Jeezy and Blue Da Vinci, and getting recognized on a bunch of different platforms it was very pivotal to hip hop culture. From the research I did before, getting onto the show. It's been really fulfilling for me to be able to help tell the story of the impact that they had. I'm glad that I got to learn a lot and learn about these people and their influence. And it's been really fulfilling.
Good stuff. All right. Well, last thing for you, I want to say, or I want to ask you, where do you kind of see yourself in the next, 5-10 years? What's kind of your plan in terms of what you want to do? I mean, you're an actress, you're a student, you're multi-talented. The world is pretty much in your hands, similar to BMF. Where do you want to go? Where do you want to see yourself down the road?
Man, I will be hopefully graduated from college in 5 years. I want to be have a few more credits under my belt, and just building my network with acting, but also with writing and directing and meeting people and continuing to have a good time in the industry, doing what I love. That's the goal.
Hey, man, that all sounds fair and that sounds absolutely obtainable in terms of that. But I just appreciate you taking some time out to talk with us here on allhiphop.com. I wish you nothing but continued success. Of course, I am locked in to the rest of the season. I want to see kind of what you do, as well as I'm going to go ahead and check out some of the other projects that you mentioned as well. It was great kind of seeing you in a different light. I was just like, oh, okay, that's just like two totally different characters in terms of the Christmas movie. And then, of course, what you're doing right now. So I'm going to get caught up, but listen, we hope to have you back again sometime soon, talk about your other projects. Definitely keep listening to hip hop, keep continuing to integrate that into your life, as well as to keep striving for success. You're doing great. We're very proud of you, and I have nothing but the utmost respect for you, and I appreciate you taking some time out to hang with me. All right.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. Take care. Appreciate y'all. Thank you, Kay.